Sai on birth and rebirths. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatya Namaha. Om Sri Samartha Sadguru Sainathaya Namaha. Baba in chapters 10 and 15 of Sri Sai Satcharitra said that he is a servant of his devotees and that he can be found in everybody's hearts. Before proceeding to the actual topic, I request you to accept my humble pranams as Sai Banisa. The topic chosen for today's discourse is centered on Atma, Paramatma, birth and rebirth as told by Lord Sri Krishna in Srimad Bhagavad Gita and by Lord Sainath in Sri Sai Satcharitra. I will also be covering some of my experiences that I have undergone with Sainath during meditation. I shall consider myself a blessed soul if my efforts to make you understand the facts about Janma and Punarjanma. Sri Sai used to advise his devotees to read Jnaneshwari. In the chapter 41 of Sri Sai Satcharitra, Baba had made one of his ardent devotees, B.V. Dev, to read Jnaneshwari. Marathi-speaking people call Bhagavad Gita as Jnaneshwari. Initially, Dev was not able to understand anything from Bhagavad Gita. Baba appeared in the dream of B.V. Dev on 2nd April 1914 and briefed him the method to be followed for reading Bhagavad Gita. Thereby, Baba helped B.V. Dev in his spiritual growth. Therefore, I would like to make a beginning with birth, rebirth, Atma and Paramatma as mentioned in the Sankhya Yoga, the second chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Later I will touch upon the same subject matter as covered in Sai Satcharitra. Please listen with attention. In Sloka 12 and 13 of chapter 2, that is Sankhya Yoga of Srimad Bhagavad Gita,
Natvevaham jatunasam Natvam neme janadhipaha Nachaiva bhavishyamaha Sarve vayamataha param Tehinosmin yada dehe Kaumaram yavanam jara Tada dehantara praptihi Dhirastastra na muhyati Dhirastastra na muhyati
Sri Krishna said, O Arjuna, there is no moment when either of us is non-existent. We will continue our existence even in the coming future. Atma, the soul is permanent and always present. Death comes only to the physical body. The Jivatma inside the body undergoes all experiences in different phases of one's lifespan, like Balya, Yavana, Kaumarya, and Vardhakya. Jivatma, after destruction of the body, enters into another body. Therefore, a courageous man will not be affected by the happenings in the surroundings. In Sloka 18 and 19 from chapter 2 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita,
Antavanta ime deha Nityasyoktaha saririnaha Anasino prameyasya Tasmadujyasva bharata Yayenam veti hamtaram Yachainam manyate hatam Ubhauto na vijanito Nayam hanti na havyate Nayam hanti na havyate
all that appears in a physical form has to come to an end, whereas Jivatma has no end. Be aware of this simple fact and participate in the war. Those who believe that Atma is responsible for killings and Atma in turn can be killed by others are both in the state of ignorance. In reality, Atma can neither engage in killing others nor can be killed by others. In Slokas 20 and 21 from the chapter 2 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita,
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं ययेन मजमव्ययम् कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कं घूतयति हन्तिकम् कं घूतयति हन्तिकम्
Atma never takes birth at any given time. As said earlier, Atma neither has a beginning nor an end. Atma is permanent, as old as time immemorable. Atma inside the body has no death. O Partha, how can a man fully knowing this truth be the cause of death for anybody's Atma, which keeps moving from one body to another? Atma therefore cannot be destroyed, is permanent, and itself does not undergo any life and death process. In Slokas 22 and 23 from chapter 2 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita,
वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णानि नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णान्यन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि नैनं चिन्तन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः न शोषयति मारुतः
just as a man wears new clothes after discarding the torn and old ones, Jivatma leaves the present physical body after the death and enters into another new body. Atma cannot be destroyed by weapons, fire, water, and even wind. In Slokas 24 and 25 from the chapter 2 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita,
अच्छेद्यो यमदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोच्ययेव च नित्यः सर्वगतः स्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुमर्हसि नानुशोचितुमर्हसि.
Atma can neither be split into parts nor is penetrable. Atma is permanent, stable, and static in nature. Atma cannot be perceived by Indriyas and beyond the reach of mind. O Arjuna, therefore there is no point in lamenting after knowing fully the truth about Atma. In Slokas 26 and 27 from the chapter 2 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita,
अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि। जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मादपरिहार्येते न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि।
O Arjuna, even if you think that Atma has life and death, do not grieve. Everybody having born has to die someday or other. Everyone dying has to be reborn again. Do not grieve over unnecessary matters. In slokas 5 and 6 from chapter 4, that is Jnana, Karma and Sannyasa Yoga of Srimad Bhagavad Gita,
बहुनि मे व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन तान्यहं वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेत्थ परं तप। अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन् प्रकृतिं स्वाम्यधिष्ठाय सम्भवाम्यात्ममायया सम्भवाम्यात्ममायया।
O Arjuna, you may not be aware that our association is carried over from many janmas over a number of years. I know all about our past. Only I am free from all these common happenings. Like Atma, I also have neither a beginning nor an end. I take different forms with my yoga shakti and keep everything under my control. The same message is conveyed by Baba in chapter 36 of Sri Sai Satcharitra to Shyama. Shyama, you are with me for the past 72 janmas. Can you recall a single event when I hurt you? Again in the chapter 3 of Sai Satcharita, Baba said to his devotees, I am the ruler to control the indriyas, mind and body of people. I live in everybody's hearts. My presence is spread all over the living life. Every action in this universe moves and happens with my command. I am the cause and effect of all the happenings. I am the Jagannatha and I am the symbol for Trigunas. I am the Srushti, Sthiti, Layakarak. Baba therefore in Kali Yuga has conveyed the same message as was conveyed by Lord Sri Krishna to Arjuna in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So far, I was talking about Atma, which neither has a beginning nor an end, as told in Bhagavad Gita. I would now like to place before you my viewpoints on the topic as understood by me. Initially, when process of creation had begun, Atmas have emerged from one single source, that is Paramatma. God has created fixed number of Atmas. I shall give an example. In the year 1950, the human population in the world we know is 2.55 billions, which has increased to 6.74 billions in the year 2008. The corresponding figures for India are 0.4 billions in the year 1950 and 1.15 billion in the year 2008. So the above figures in India and in world are the part of X billion Atmas created at the time of creation of this universe, which is constant. That means the Atmas in human form has increased as a sort of development from lower species of life to human form. There are several stages of Atma evolution in human form itself. The numbers of Atmas merging in God are 1 in billions and billions. Nature had its own mechanism to auto-correct the minimal unbalance so created within all the living species of life. I will give few examples on my thinking. In Ramayana, to avenge the killing of its kith and kin by Kaikai Maharaj, the lady deer was born as Mandara. As per chapter 27 of Sri Sai Satcharita, a cow was born as Lakshmi Khapadde after doing good deeds continuously in the next 5 janmas. I will place one more example before you. In Mahabharata, princess by name Amba was born as Shikhandi to take revenge on Bhishma. In chapter 47 of Sai Satcharita, a lady by name Dubaki was born as Channabasappa to take revenge on Veerabhadrappa. A sage by name Jadabharta was having special attachment towards a deer cub in his ashram. After death, he was reborn as a deer to continue his attachments toward the deer cub. In the chapter 46 of Sri Sai Satcharita, Channabasappa and Veerabhadrappa were born as snake and frog and continued their enmity. One thing that gets clear is that there is no guarantee that a human being will be born as human being after death. But one thing is sure, that human beings can be born as animals, and other lower species of life and vice versa can also happen depending upon their karmic deeds. So the sum total of the Atmas remains the same as that was at the time of creation. Baba in the chapter 42 of Sri Sai Satcharitra had said that the part of Paramatma is inside the bodies of human beings as well as animals. There is no change in the characteristics. Let us recollect what Baba had said to Lakshmi. Baba said, "Lakshmi, why are you disturbed unnecessarily? Satisfying the hunger of a dog is as good as feeding me. Even a dog has Atma. Form of life is different, but everybody feels the hunger in the same way." Thus Baba concluded that Atma in human beings and animals is a part of Paramatma. Depending on the good deeds and bad deeds of the species of life, the promotion and demotion occurs from one species of life to other species of life. For a moment, let us draw our attention to what scientists said on this aspect. We know that certain types of living life are slowly vanishing. In other words, their Atmas are getting migrated into human bodies and perhaps leading to an increase in human population. And this is my personal view. Atma in animals with their good conduct and behavior are born as human beings. Therefore, we should always aim to be born as human beings in our next birth. Also, our elders have said that Atmas in human beings demonstrate outstanding qualities on a continuous basis. Throughout their life shall merge with Paramatma. As an example, let us take the history of Dhruva from Bhagavatam. He ruled his kingdom extremely well for 26,000 years. With the blessings from Sri Mahavishnu, became a star in the sky, named after him as a Dhruvatara. In chapter 31 of Sai Satcharita, we can come across one such personality, Tatya Sabnulkar. Baba grievingly said at the time of his death, Tatya had left before us. He has no rebirth. In this way, Baba has granted Sadgati to some of his devotees. Now let us listen to Slokas 3 and 30 from chapter 7, that is a Jnana Vijnana Yoga of Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Manusyanam sahasreshu kachid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kachinam veti tatvatah साधिभूतादि दैवं मां साधियज्ञं च ये विदुः प्रयाणकालेऽपि च मां ते विदुर्युक्तचेतसः विदुर्युक्तचेतसः
Lord Sri Krishna said, only one or two out of millions of my devotees put efforts to know me. Very rarely, one from such a lot realize the real me. Only such people knowing me and my Swarupa with effort shall merge in me to set themselves free from the endless cycles of birth and rebirth once for all. Let us now see to what Baba said about rebirths in chapter 31 of Sri Sai Satcharita. A sick tiger was brought to Baba's darbar by its keepers. Baba said, this tiger in the previous life was a human being indebted to you. It was born as a tiger and cleared all your previous debts and attained Sadgati in Dwarka Mai. Professor G.G. Narke, one of the ardent devotees of Baba, was principal of Deccan Engineering College, Pune. Baba appeared in one of his dreams and showed him a man cutting woods. Baba said, Narke, this man was your friend from the previous Janma. You indulged in good activities in the past life, now studied well to become the principal of engineering college. Whereas the other man, by virtue of his bad deeds carried over from the previous Janmas, is presently leading the life of a woodcutter to earn his livelihood. Narke considered this as a mere dream. After few days, he visited Dwarka Mai to have Baba's darshan. Strangely, by coincidence, a woodcutter entered Dwarka Mai, who supplied firewood for the dhuni in Dwarka Mai. Baba called upon Narke and told him, he is your friend from the previous Janma. You buy firewood for ₹2 from him. Narke was dumbstruck by the words of Baba. Now I will place before you an incident from the book titled The Incredible Sai Baba by Arthur Osborne. Once a boy was bitten by a snake in Shirdi and collapsed. Mother of the boy carried the body and placed it before Sai and prayed him to save the boy. Baba had not agreed for the request. Kakasaheb Dikshit was unable to bear the sight of grieving mother and pleaded on her behalf with Baba to save the boy, but in vain. Sai said, I can save him, but it is better for the boy that he dies. He has already entered into the womb of another woman. After rebirth, he is going to perform many good deeds, which he cannot do living in his present body. I have to put back life into him, now at the cost of the life already begun in another woman's womb. I can do all this for your sake. But anyone can take the responsibility? All those gathered there were astonished and ultimately convinced the mother and performed the last rites for the dead body. Here I may have to talk about few incidents to make things more clear. Baba saved Shyama from the snake bite. The reason being that Shyama in this life had to complete many more good works left undone in this life. Baba in the boy's case had not agreed to save the life because the boy has many more good deeds to be performed in his coming Janma. Baba in the year 1886, on a full moon day, had left his physical body in the state of Yogakriya Samadhi for 72 hours and re-entered his body later. With all this, it can be concluded that there is no death for Atma. Baba in the chapter 32 of Sri Sai Satcharitra said, this body will go into the earth, breath will disappear into air, there can be no such opportunity again. I may go anywhere, may sit anywhere. It means that someday or other, one has to leave the body to take rebirth again. Therefore, from lakhs of years, Baba's Atma is taking many Janmas and continue in future also. A man dying in one form means to be reborn in some other form. It is only a process of shifting as far as Atma is concerned. I entered into Sai's fold from the year 1989, and since then I am in the habit of regular reading of Sri Sai Satcharita. I happened to pray him on one night to indicate as to how my next Janma would be. The dream contents are very interesting, and I would like to share them with you. The day Atma leaves the body means physical death. Atma entering into another body means rebirth. In the dream, I was shown with a visual. My Atma holding the hand of Sadguru crossed a forest, a river, and then a mountain top. On the top of the mountain was a fort with 4 minarets. As per our traditions, we engage in Godan on the 10th day of the death to see the Atma crosses Vaitarani river without facing any difficulty. It is general belief that Atma holds the tail of the cow and swims the Vaitarani river. After crossing the river, Atma reaches the fort with 4 minarets. Fort is the symbolic with the life of a human being. The 4 minarets are the 4 qualities to be achieved in human life. They are dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. A man can earn first 3 with his efforts, but the 4th one, moksha, is to be attained only with the grace of Sadguru. Holding the hand of Sadguru, Atma reached up to the 4th one, tallest of all minarets. Sadguru stopped there and told, I will not come beyond this point with you. Reach the lotus feet of the Lord, chanting his name. But keep in mind not to look down. Here I would like to remind you about what is mentioned in our Puranas. Chanting the name of the Lord or the name of the Sadguru in divine form will ferry one across the ocean full of difficulties. My Atma then promised to stick to the Guru's advice and then commenced further journey, that is, walking into the sky. But the curiosity to look down towards the earth has dominated. I ignored Guru's advice only to fall down to ground from the sky and quickly re-entered into the womb of another woman. Atma had failed to heed to the words of Sadguru, and thus a beginning is made for one more new Janma. As far as Atma is concerned, it is rebirth. So far we have understood the underlying aspects of birth and rebirth with examples drawn from Bhagavad Gita, Sri Sai Satcharita by Hemadri Pant, and from the book The Incredible Sai Baba by Arthur Osborne. Now I will put before you some of my experiences on today's topic of Sai on birth and rebirth and Baba's messages in my dreams on the subject. My father, at the age of 54, has passed away in the village Idikki in Kerala in the year 1974 due to cardiac arrest. While knowing about his rebirth, I came across very interesting information. My father stationed his family in Andhra Pradesh, and he moved from one place to another as per the job requirements. As a consequence, he had missed the pleasures of married life. His bodily desires were left unfulfilled, and so he was reborn after death in a well-to-do family. As he stepped into teens, he got used to carefree life with mind fully occupied with sexual thoughts. No doubt, I was disturbed on knowing all this, but I concluded that the Atma with desires left unfulfilled from the previous life will take rebirth to fulfill those desires in the next Janma. Same message is conveyed in the Akshara Brahma Yoga in the chapter 8 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In slokas 5 and 6 from chapter 8 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said,
अन्तकाले च मामेव स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरम् यः प्रयाति समद्भावम् याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः यं यं वापि स्मरन् भावम् त्यजत्यन्ते कलेवरम् तं तमेवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः
Kaunteya, those who chant and remembers my name in their last moment shall attain me. There need not be any doubt on my statement. A man would achieve whatever he longs for in the final moments. He would achieve the same in his next life to come. In one of our relatives' family, their eldest son was suffering from muscular disease right from the childhood and was totally bedridden. His parents served him till the age of 20 years and later he passed away. My mind was constantly thinking as to why the boy was confined to bed for so many years. I came to know interesting points in the process. The boy in his previous Janma was a very intimate female friend of the couple. She was unmarried. In the present Janma, they are his parents. She died in a road accident and was born to the couple as their son, got their services fully and died. One of my friends was holding very high position in a bank. He died at the age of 45 due to paralytic stroke, leaving behind his wife and 5 daughters. I was wondering and looking towards the Baba to answer for the miserable state of affairs in their family. Why did he meet such a fateful death? In the previous Janma, he was a physical training instructor. He always looked upon girls with low opinion and encouraged only boys. In this Janma, all the 5 girls were born as his daughter to take revenge on him. So my friend died of paralytic stroke, having shown utter disregard for those female students. One of my close friend's son was residing in USA. He was highly educated and earned lot of money. He died at a very young age of 30 years in an accident. I was very much moved by the incident. Initially, I was wondering why at all this should happen to them. They never harmed anyone. Then why should they be punished like this? I asked Baba in meditation, and Baba had shown my friend's wife in the initial days of their marriage took pity on her orphan boy. She gave him food. The boy too desired that he should have a mother like her. On one day, being absent-minded, he met with a road accident and died. He was born as my friend's son. Having faced poverty in his previous Janma, he was born in a wealthy family, got good education, but was looking ways and means to earn more money and accidentally fell down climbing a hill and died. He is now once again born in a very wealthy family in America and presently leading a well-to-do life, as he was thinking only about money in the last moments as son of my friend. Now, you might be curious to know about the previous 4 Janmas of this man lecturing to you on rebirth. Let me also touch upon that aspect. Some time back, I was mentally disturbed due to family problems and bad treatment of my bosses in the office. I wanted to commit suicide. Sai appeared in my dream and told, to commit suicide is a sin. You are leading a better life in this Janma. Look to your previous 4 Janmas and see for yourself how much better off you are now. Baba showed me the Janmas prior to the year 1946. I was born on 24th April 1946 as Gopal Rao Ravada. In the previous Janma, I died as a young man at the age of 25 fighting with the British in the country's freedom struggle. I was married but could not fulfill my commitments properly. In the previous Janma to the one in freedom struggle, I was born in a middle class family. I died at the age of 20 fighting the enemy while in British naval forces during the First World War. In the previous Janma to the one in fighting the British naval forces, I was born in a poor family and worked as a laborer in a rich Jamindar's house. I was killed by the short-tempered Jamindar's son. In the previous Janma prior to the one in as a rich Jamindar's servant, I was born as a girl in a very poor family. At the age of 16, I was raped by 4 persons and killed. After having seen all the 4 previous Janmas, I realized how lucky I am in the present life and decided to serve Sai devotees to the best of my abilities. I pray Lord Sainath to grant me with the same favor of serving him in the next life too. And with these words, I will close my discourse on Sai, on births and rebirths. Jai Sai Ram. Jai Sai Ram.